can Mr. Chiang, how can your party keep him as a candidate?
Is Mark Carney compromised? Welcome back to Moose and Lose. My name's David. Today he's asked about Paul Chiang and the whole bounty capture situation that happened just a day or two ago. And he absolutely defends this guy, says it's a teachable moment. He understands his position. This is awful. Mark Carney does not want to rock the boat with China. Let's jump into this. So first up, we got Marty up north posting this one. Gasoline prices in Alberta have gone up steadily ever since Mark Carney announced he'd be eliminating the carbon tax. This is interesting. As you can see here, price increases over the past month here. There needs to be rules in place where you can't have stupid gouging that goes on like this. We got Mario posting this one. A bylaw officer in Oakville is caught stealing a conservative sign. This is against the law. This guy needs to be charged. It's absurd that a bylaw officer would be the one stealing the sign. It's the state of Canada. We're seeing a lot of this kind of crap. Dirty politics, dirty tactics, which is breaking the law by people who support the Liberals themselves, like this, surrounding Barbara Ball's sign here with Mark Carney signs. Come on. They knew what they're doing when they set these up. They even got extra long sticks here so Barbara Ball's sign is covered. As Mario says here, Carney is desperate. The panic is setting in. Mark Carney had an announcement today about housing. This is absurd. So he announced $35 billion plan to build 500,000 new homes a year. This is just the Housing Accelerator 2.0. And I already came up with a video, I don't know, it was 2 weeks ago, showing that there was a leaked memo, leaked document showing that the Liberals knew that their housing accelerator wasn't going to work even before they announced it. They just did it to try to trick Canadians. And here we have a good chunk of our population still can't figure out what's going on in our country, that they're being tricked by the government. This isn't going to work. This is going to put us further in debt. Just listen to this bumbling buffoon here. As Table Salt says, goes full communist, announcing Soviet-style mass government housing project.
We're getting government back in the business of building affordable homes. Acting as a developer, Build Canada Homes will work with industry to build affordable homes at scale, including on public lands. We'll make good on the promise to unlock federal lands for home building on a post-war scale. Build Canada Homes will also provide $10 billion of low-cost financing to builders to construct deeply affordable homes for those most in need, as well as housing for students and seniors. And Build Canada Homes will catalyze the creation of an entirely modern housing industry in this country.
It's an awful announcement. They posted $62 billion deficit. Now this is going to just further hurt our country. This is not going to solve the housing crisis either. And they know it. Show some numbers how many houses you're going to build versus the immigration number of people coming in. But they won't do that because they know it won't work. As Marty up north posted here, $35 billion would only be enough to build 70,000 homes at $500,000 a home. This won't solve the crisis. The only thing that will to stop immigration or bring it to very low numbers for likely the next decade. That's how bad Trudeau has left this country. And Trudeau's goons, they're all still here. Nothing's changed. They changed one guy. Are Canadians this dumb? We're going to find out in the polls. I sure hope not. We really need Canadians to step up. Everyone do their part, whether it's going door knocking or going on liberal Facebook groups and posting infographics about things that would really kind of trigger the old white lady who watches CBC, like crime rates or eating crickets or home invasions. These are the things that are going to sway their minds because they don't care about the affordability crisis. Their houses are paid off. Right now, Canada has a deficit of about 5 million homes. So as Marty pointed out here, 70,000 homes isn't going to cut it. And we're further going to put our country into debt when really we should just be unlocking the private sector to solve this problem for us and dropping the immigration levels down. The problem will be solved over time. So next up, we're moving over to the situation where Mark Carney defends the guy who called out for Jyote, the conservative, to be bounty captured, dropped off at the Chinese consulate in Toronto, which then he would be sent back to China and likely executed. This is disgusting. This is foreign interference at its best by China. Before we get to Mark Carney's remarks, let's take a recap of the situation.
Mark Carney may not have been out on the campaign trail today, but he is facing growing pressure to fire a Liberal Party candidate after the incumbent MP said his opponent should be turned over to the Chinese government. CTV's Judy Trin reports.
No family should ever have to worry about their safety.
Incumbent Liberal Paul Chiang, a former police officer in Ontario's York region, took aim at Conservative rival Jyote, a democracy activist in ethnic media. In a January interview with Ming Pao News, Chiang urged people to bring Tay to the Chinese consulate in Toronto to collect a bounty of 1 million Hong Kong dollars.
This is the most kind of obvious example of the manifestation of China's foreign interference when a incumbent MP would say something like that to the press.
Don't like the candidate because they're defending free speech? Send them back to China where they'll get executed. This is the message from the Liberal Party of Canada.
Hi, I'm Joe Tay.
Before he was a Conservative candidate, Tay, born in Hong Kong, criticized the region's administration for obeying China's orders to crack down on civilian rights. The opposition is calling on the Liberal leader to fire Chiang as a candidate.
If Mark Carney would allow his Liberal MP to make a comment like this, when would he ever protect Canada or Canadians against foreign hostility?
He is a police officer, and he ought to know that when the CCP went out and put a bounty on anybody, including Canadians, that cannot be acceptable.
Drawing more attention to the specter of foreign interference, Tay is running in Don Valley North, the same riding that former Liberal Han Dong represented. A commission looking into foreign interference cleared Dong of claims he had advised Chinese officials. As Mark Carney's campaign shifts to the Toronto region, the Liberals say Chiang has apologized for his significant lapse in judgment and is clear he'll stand shoulder to shoulder with the people of Hong Kong. But democracy advocates say they are unsure about that commitment. According to Statistics Canada, nearly half of the residents in Markham are ethnic Chinese. 1 in 5 come from China. Mark Carney says all the Liberal candidates have been carefully vetted for foreign interference, but it has been 2 months since Paul Chiang made his comments to Chinese language media.
I believe there's 20% of people in that area are from mainland China, which results in a lot of people that Paul Chiang was enticing to capture and bring to the Chinese consulate. Just think of that. If you had thousands of people who are being encouraged for this bounty capture to make money by capturing and sending back this guy to likely get executed, it's absurd. Listen to this absolute loser when he's asked about this question.
Paul Chiang, one of your candidates in Markham, talked about turning over a Conservative candidate to the Chinese consulate to receive a bounty placed on him by the Chinese Communist Party. Can you explain why you've not dropped him as a Liberal candidate?
Thank you for the question. Look, the comments were deeply offensive. This is a terrible lapse of judgment by Mr. Chiang. He has apologized for those comments. He has apologized directly now to the person that he mentioned. Apologized directly to him yesterday. Spoken to Mr. Chiang as well over the course of the weekend to understand his position. He is a veteran policeman. Mr. Chiang is a veteran policeman with more than a quarter century of service to his community. 28 years of defending rights in this community. And he will continue with his candidacy going forward, having made those apologies very clearly to the individual, to the community, and moving forward to serve.
I pointed this out before. Paul Chiang, his service as a police officer, he retired in 2020 as a sergeant. In 2013, he served as a diversity officer in the Diversity and Cultural Resources Unit. That's all we need to know.
He's come out and said apologies not sufficient, and then previous to this, he was speaking with the RCMP about his safety. So I'm just wondering why you feel comfortable continuing with a candidate that was parroting Chinese Communist Party talking points to try and attack a political candidate.
Look, this is a person of integrity who's served this community, his community, as a senior police officer for, as I said, more than a quarter century. He's made a terrible lapse in judgment. He's made an apology for that. It's also an individual who has family in Hong Kong. He's under no illusions about the situation there, the situation in broader China. He's made those apologies. He's made them directly to the individual concerned. He's made them directly to me. He has my confidence. Thank you.
Awful. Mark Carney is terrible. Paul Chiang can't be trusted. This was encouraging people to capture and deport him to China for likely execution. Mark Carney's okay with that, though. He thinks that's fine in Canada. I think this man is highly compromised by China.
It's not just opposition parties calling for Mr. Chiang's resignation. It's also at least 13 civil society groups. What message are you sending to Canadians who are worried about pressure from China when you allow him to stay on? And how can you credibly criticize Pierre Poilievre for his lack of security clearance when Mr. Chiang is considered a worthy candidate?
Well, I deeply offended by those comments. As I said, they're a terrible lapse of judgment. I view this as a teachable moment. It underscores the respect with which we treat human rights in this country, the differences between Canadian society and
This is awful, dude. Teachable moment? Are you kidding me? Teachable moments when you're out on a boat with your kid and he's 16 years old and you're teaching him how to fish and he loses the fish. Make sure you get a good hold of the fish before you pull the hook out. Teachable moments when you're teaching your kid how to drive and he's going too fast or he's taking the corner too fast. Teachable moment is not teaching a 65-year-old man that encouraging people to capture and deport someone to China where they'll likely get ended and essentially have no punishment for that? Are you kidding me? Mark Carney is compromised by China, period.
And other countries. This, after all, though, I will go back to the character of the individual who made a lapse judgment. This is someone who has served our community, has been on the front line of policing for almost 3 decades, and has been standing up for those rights and has that track record for it. He's made his apology. He made it to the public. He made it to the individual concerned, made it directly to me, and he's going to continue with his candidacy. Thank you.
I notice multiple GTA area candidates behind you. If you're still standing behind Mr. Chiang, why isn't he standing behind you today?
He has other responsibilities in his riding. We don't have every. We have multiple, but not every candidate.
Mr. Carney, I'd like to
Yeah, it's a whole lot of
press you a little bit more on Paul Chiang. He lives in a riding that is 70% diverse, people of color. Half of that are people of Chinese ethnic origin, and of that population, about 20% are from mainland China. The question that people from Hong Kong have asked me to ask is whether or not you are putting appeal to those voters who may support the policies of China ahead of the democratic rights and safety of dissidents who have called Canada home, and mainly Hong Kong democracy activists who now live in Mr. Chiang's riding.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Stand foursquare for rights, foursquare for our position, our very strong position vis-a-vis China, respect for Canadian citizens, all rights of Canadian citizens, irrespective of whether they hold dual citizenship or not, to be absolutely clear.
This guy was handpicked by Xi Jinping as one of 20 business leaders to come and meet him and do business dealings in China. Brookfield Asset Management has $23 billion of assets under management in China, most of that in Shanghai. He just did that $276 million loan just at the end of last year. This guy's compromised. This is coming directly from Brookfield's website here, $23 billion US assets under management.
Mr. Chiang has long history of service to that community, history of protecting those rights. Mr. Chiang is well aware of these issues, including having family in Hong Kong.
How can he be an effective representative for them when they no longer trust him after he said this? The question, as you know, Mr. Carney, you know that Canada has executed 4 Canadians this year.
China.
You know that there are human rights activists in China in detention right now. How can Mr. Chiang, how can your party keep him as a candidate knowing this context?
Mr. Chiang has apologized for his comments. It's a lapse of judgment. He apologized for he's apologized for his comments.
She just said, is this your lapse of judgment? Sticking it right to the Grinch.
He's apologized directly to me. He's apologized directly to the individual. He has a long record of service. He's going to continue his candidacy.
Perhaps his record of service should be looked into. If he's making comments like that, they didn't pop up overnight. This man is absolutely insane. He's defending this guy, and there's only one reason why. It's this. We got a statement that came out today here from Joe Tay. Mark Carney must fire Paul Chiang as Liberal candidate for Markham Unionville. His threatening public comments were intended to intimidate me, and they must not be tolerated. Further, last night he made an unsolicited attempt to contact me to discuss this matter and has posted on social media that he's offered an apology. I want to be clear, no apology is sufficient. Threats like these are the tradecraft of the Chinese Communist Party to interfere in Canada. Exactly what I said at the beginning of this video. This is Chinese foreign interference, and Mark Carney is protecting it. He is now complicit in it if he doesn't fire Paul Chiang. And they are not just aimed at me, they're intended to send a chilling signal to the entire community in order to force compliance to Beijing's political goals. Do the old white ladies who watch CBC want Xi Jinping to be their leader? Then vote for Mark Carney. This situation has left me fearing for my safety even prior to Mr. Chiang's insidious comments coming to light. I've been in touch with the Royal Mounted Canadian Police regarding my personal protection, suggesting that people collect a bounty from Chinese Communist Party to deliver a political opponent to a Chinese consulate is disgusting and must never be condoned. Exactly. I mean, what's he supposed to do now? Anytime the guy steps out the door, he's going to be worried that someone's going to drive by, a couple people jump out, grab him, and drag him into a car. This is absurd. Mark Carney's protecting this. He's defending these actions. Mark Carney has to be thrown out. Where are the reactions from Liberal MPs, Anand, Freeland, Guilbeault, on this? Do they agree with Carney's decision? Will they be happy to sit with Chiang in Parliament should he be elected? This isn't just hypocrisy. It's proof that the left views power as a weapon, not a responsibility. If anyone still trusts these people with our democracy, they haven't been paying attention. Carney's campaign was made in China. Yep. So we also got the bloc leader here who was asked about this.
Everybody has to come very transparent and clean and open about everything. But, you know, there's so many things that we do not know about so many candidates, which appear to be a problem. But there's so much we do not know about the Liberal leader, which is no better for democracy.
That is well said. We don't know much about him. We don't know enough about him, that's for sure. Does anyone think the Bloc will attempt to position itself as an option for the Conservatives to form a coalition? They just might. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I mean, it's possible. It'd be a heck of a lot better than having the Liberals in power. So jumping over to Joe Tay's account, he's come out with 2 replies since. This one here, a press statement. This was his first reply to all of this. This is it. I'm Joe Tay, your Canada First Conservative candidate in Don Valley North. This is the most challenging time in our lifetime. We must give it everything. We've got to protect this place we call home. A 4th term for the Liberals is not an option. Join me. Volunteer, donate, vote. Together we'll take back Canada and bring it home for Don Valley North. This is an incredibly professional response to the whole situation. I would not have responded as he had. I would be a lot more spicy with it. Careful, Joe, you might even get extra security for yourself. Paul Chiang is still on the loose. Exactly. How can he walk around anywhere and not be worried he's going to get captured? Press charges, report the crime. Whole country is cheering for you. A very professional response here coming from Joe Tay. Both that one and his statement here. So next up, the Liberals came out with this ad about building homes to go with Mark Carney's announcement.
It's time your government got back into the business of building affordable homes.
This is absurd. We know full well that Brookfield wants to get their fingers in this. That's why he's doing this. I mean, we got stuff like this, Brookfield residential, community locations, our communities. Why Brookfield? Building townhouses residential in Edmonton. Townhomes from $200K. Of course, Mark Carney wants to get back into the business of building homes. He's got almost $7 million of stock options in Brookfield. This is a blatant conflict of interest. It'll be curious going forward if Liberal supporters will be backing Mark Carney, supporting the bounty capture of another human being. Would those Liberal supporters enjoy being bounty captured and sent to China to be ended of existence? Do they support that themselves? Time will tell.